The CP Telethon here at WBAY TV2 is fast approaching.
Yeah, this year there's going to be a lot of changes to keep everyone safe during this pandemic.
Kristen Allen is live in the WBAY auditorium to explain what's new.
Good morning. Yeah, that CP Telethon will be here before you know it, and we're up here in the auditorium where you can see that everything is mostly set up. These tables, of course, here behind me are where the phone banks will go, and on telethon days it is usually bustling with people up here. That won't be the same this year. Things will look a little different. The show will go on to raise those critical dollars for CP, but it will look a little bit different, and that's because the majority of different things like entertainment and such will be pre-recorded. So entertainment, those bands that perform, those will all be recorded ahead of time. Also, the interviews with the families and the clients, as well as some check presentations, will be recorded as well. There will still be panels answering phone calls and taking pledges.
We would have our bank of 26 VIPs answering phones. Well, now they have to be spread out and socially distanced across the entire auditorium. So we're working with how does that affect our phones and the phone lines that are all over the place, and how does that affect our cameras and how they're operating.
Those organizing the telethon will make sure that after each panel answers phone, there is sufficient time afterward to disinfect the tables and phones and things like that before a new group comes in to answer the phones. And those VIPs are still needed. More of them are needed to answer phones. So if you would like to do that, you can go to our website, WBAY.com, for more information on how to do that. And the CP Telethon is happening on March 6th from 6:30 to 10 p.m. and then again on March 7th from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Reporting live in the WBAY auditorium, Kristen Allen, Action 2 News.
This weekend marks a special time for us and the community with the 67th annual CP Telethon, the longest running local telethon in the country, taking place.
And not only is the community able to financially support CP to keep programs and therapy running, you get to see exactly how it is helping so many local families. And that includes one of our own here at WBAY. The therapists at CP have changed not just a child's life, but everyone around her.
To not know what would happen if she would talk normally, if she would walk, if she would eat, all these things, and they've happened. I mean, there's not much else that you can say.
But Action 2 News This Morning reporter Kristen Allen has so much more to say, though actions may speak louder than words to show the miracles she has seen in her twin daughters, who turned 2 just before Christmas.
It's so crazy to think of where they were even just a year ago when that was good to me then, and to be where they are now is amazing.
Kristen and her husband Greg have courageously shared their tears and smiles with us since their twin daughters, Braylon and Brielle, both became critically ill with respiratory viruses when they were just 6 weeks old. Braylon began to struggle and needed an advanced form of life support called ECMO to circulate her blood and give her a fighting chance. Doctors weren't sure she could survive the 2-hour ambulance ride to Milwaukee to undergo that very risky treatment. But Braylon is a fighter. She came home with a feeding tube and a lot of medications in April of 2019. Less than a year later, she pulled through open heart surgery like a champ. The hole in her heart now fully repaired. Each day with the twins and their oldest daughter Bailey, Greg and Kristen count their blessings.
For her to be where she is truly amazing, and it wouldn't be without the help of CP.
Being able to jump in a bounce house, chatter away with her dolls, and even eat, all are happening, Kristen says, because a team of therapists from CP have been alongside the family the whole time.
CP is just an amazing place, and their therapists are so skilled and so talented and dedicated to what they do. Lori, it truly is a part of her family. Michelle, who's her speech therapist, truly is a part of her family.
They've witnessed a whole new level of dedication during the pandemic.
Get your toes on the ground.
First figuring out teletherapy, then in-home therapy, never missing a beat.
You can't control the environment quite as much because it's not your environment, and you just have to kind of go with the flow a little bit more, and I'm okay with that.
Braylon is flourishing because she was able to keep that physical, occupational, feeding, and speech therapy going. She'll have her feeding tube removed soon, years earlier than Kristen expected.
It's been great to see Braylon enjoying food, and from the beginning you don't know if it's going to happen. It was amazing to see how quickly it did for her.
Kristen credits it all to CP.
So that's why, I tell the story to bring others hope, and my hope is that, someday someone else walks in those doors with a bunch of uncertainty ahead of them. They can say, well, we had this patient, Braylon, and she went through all those things, and, she turned out okay.
More than okay. Look at them now. Well, the 67th annual CP Telethon happening this weekend here at TV2. The money raised during the telethon benefits the programs like you saw there offered at CP to help people with special needs.
And the telethon will look different this year, of course, because of the pandemic. Much of it has been recorded ahead of time, but we will still have volunteers here answering phones live and taking pledges. So please consider donating, and we will see you Saturday night starting at 6:30.
And we are so happy your girls are doing well. The reports from you keep coming in, keeps getting better and better.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, I'm so happy, so blessed. CP is such a blessing. There's a monitor up here, and I've had to force myself to look away and not watch the story so I didn't get too emotional before you guys came out to us. But one thing that I like to say is that, Braylon is just the story of one child, and there are so many other hundreds of children that CP, they transform these children's lives. So such a fabulous organization, and they do so many different things. They offer so many different services, things like you saw in that story with my daughter, things like speech therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy for kids, but they also have programs for adults during the day with special needs. And CP is a nonprofit organization, so the community support is really critical, and of course that's why we have the telethon this weekend to support that. And you can see here that the auditorium is all set up and ready to go. These are the phone banks where people will be answering phones, and if you've watched before, obviously you can tell they look a little bit different. They have these dividers right here keeping people socially distanced, lots of hand sanitizer and disinfecting wipes. Everyone will be wearing a mask throughout the whole weekend as well, even when answering the phones. Even the presenters doing the telethon will be wearing masks as well. And last year the telethon raised a record-breaking $1.4 million. Then just days later, that's when the shutdown happened. After a few weeks, the organization found a way to bring therapy and services to its clients virtually, and then also later with home visits. CP eventually reopened last May with new protocols in place to keep staff and clients safe. The money raised during the telethon helps to support CP's operations throughout the year and supply those necessary tools for its programs.
New services are able to offer equipment that is vital to some of our clients to use, exercise equipment for sure, in order to maintain and be here as an organization, be here as that resource. That's what all those dollars go towards.
The telethon is still going to offer the same great entertainment that you're used to seeing. The only difference is that it will be pre-recorded. There will also be fewer people here in the auditorium, so not as much hustle and bustle. One other difference is that there is a family panel of people who answer phones who have children or a child who go to CP. I will be on that panel. We'll be answering phones virtually actually on Sunday using Google Meet, and you'll be able to call us directly through that. So that will be at 4 o'clock on Sunday. You'll also be able to see us, on the telethon, using Google Meet. So watch my social media pages. I'll post my phone number. You can call me, only if you're going to donate though, so stay tuned for that. Reporting live in the WBAY Auditorium, Kristen Allen, Action 2 News.
For the 67th annual CP Telethon, I'm joined live with our MC, Frank Hermans of Let Me Be Frank Productions, who's been providing entertainment for the CP Telethon now for 17 years. Just like many other events this year, our CP Telethon looks a little bit different, but Frank, tell me about some of the adjustments we made this year.
Well, as you can see, everybody's 6 foot apart here. Where the VIPs are sitting, we've got extra tables down here. And it's going to be a little bit more flowing, a little bit better when we do the totes. We'll be, of course, socially distanced. Also, live entertainment. We're the only ones here tonight. Let me be frank. Well, there's a couple dogs here, too, but we'll be here tonight, 3-dog night. And also, the entertainment will be virtual. Most of the entertainment, you're going to see some great live music tonight on the telethon. And we're hoping we can beat last year's total. So give us a call during the telethon.
Right. And so just like other years, this still goes to the CP Telethon. We weren't going to let the pandemic keep us away from this. So where do these donations go? Who do they help? Our friends, neighbors, our community?
100% of that money stays in this community. That's why it's such a great organization. I've been involved with CP now for 25 years. I was the past board president, and I tell you what, it is amazing what we do for the young people of this community, and of course brain injuries, and we can go on and on about what CP does. And it's just a great organization. And right now, you know, during this pandemic, 501c are hurting, so we need you to give us a call and raise some funds to keep CP in operation.
Right, and you've got plenty of volunteers. Like you said, you've got them stationed 6 feet apart, ready to take those calls.
That's right, and I'm wearing a face mask, not just because I want to hide my beauty. It's because we want to be safe, Brittany. We want to be safe here, and everybody else be safe. And I got to tell you what, thank you everyone out there for calling the telethon and giving.
All right, well, we'll check back in with you in just a little bit. Thanks, Frank. And welcome back. The 67th annual CP Telethon wrapped up just a couple hours ago, and it was a huge success for our entire community. In a First Alert update, Megan Kernan shows us some of the action as the telethon wrapped up this evening.
An event that the community looks forward to every single year. The 67th annual CP Telethon raises money for CP, a local nonprofit organization offering therapy and life skill services to kids all the way to seniors.
CP Telethon is more than just fundraising. You know, it's really about advocating for what CP is and what it does for our clients, and bringing the community together to show our clients that we're still here for them and we're supporting them and their families all year long, even in the middle of a pandemic.
CP officials say safety was the top priority this year to make sure everyone stayed socially distanced, requiring masks at all times.
The other thing we did is if we could pre-record something, we did. So a lot of our entertainment, client interviews, all been pre-recorded to limit the amount of people in the building to really try to keep everyone safe.
In order for the VIP volunteers to be socially distanced here, there are 26 people per panel, equaling to about 365 volunteers throughout the entire telethon.
This year, panels were shortened to 45 minutes to allow us 15 minutes in between to sanitize all of their spots.
All of the money raised goes to CP's programming and services throughout the year.
I think we'll be close. I don't know if we're going to set a record this year, but I tell you what, we're going to set a record just for the compassion that people feel out there. And I think the giving and community joining in, that's my record.
We did it again! We did it again!
The grand total raised during the two-day event came to $1,421,757.
Thank you from all these folks here and everybody else behind the scene.
Making the total super close to last year's total, which was about $30,000 more, but amazing nonetheless amidst a pandemic.
Thank you so much.
In Green Bay, Megan Kernan, Action 2 News.